Good afternoon and welcome to today's episode of Light Lunch. We are joined by Natasha and Max. I'll let them introduce themselves. Natasha?
Hi, I'm Natasha Possenniskie. I'm the owner of Urban Outcomes Limited, a construction consultancy. I specialise in independent engineers for contract, and I do a lot of work with NZIB. I'm on the rewrite committee representing NZIB for 3910 at the moment.
Lovely. And Max?
G'day, my name's Max Burgess. I'm an account manager for Placemakers New Lynn, which is part of the Western Hub. Look after a range of customers ranging from SMEs to light commercial to high density residential developers. And I'm also part of the Young Professional Association in conjunction with the NZIOB.
Wonderful. So we are going to run this just as normal. We're going to talk about 3 things keeping us awake at night. Should have said it earlier, but it doesn't all have to be negative. Natasha, you could kick us off.
Okay, well, I'll try not to be negative, but first thing that is always keeping me up at night, and which I often email people about very early in the morning or late at night, is diversity and the lack of diversity in our industry and the lack of buy-in from key organisations to put in place policies, simple policies that could really boost diversity and visibility of diverse leaders and workers within the industry.
Yeah, that's a good one. And you're helping us a lot with that. So thank you. Max?
My one, unfortunately, is negative. However, it affects certainly not affecting me personally, however, the industry in general, which would be a lot of people my age leaving New Zealand and going elsewhere, whether it be for better pay or better opportunities. It seems to be a growing issue amongst my age bracket, and it's a little bit eerie to lose young people who are quite gifted and skilled in their fields and taking it elsewhere.
Hopefully they come back.
Mm.
And Natasha, back to you.
Next thing really is just what's going to happen over the next 6 months. We seem to be in for a bit of turbulent time, and we're starting to see a lot of old established businesses fail again, which is what we probably saw in the last 5 to 10 years previously. So I'm starting to worry about that and what's coming up for the industry.
Definitely. We were actually just having a conversation about that in the office. So I think the NZO will be looking at doing something around helping that. We were talking about that as well. Max?
My one's personal related is what my sales were like today. A lot of the time we have things that customers are collecting or going direct to site that often we don't know about. So it's interesting to see how I went that day, and obviously we're incentivized by sales. So it's obviously on my mind all the time.
I bet. Cool. And your last point, Natasha, I imagine there's way more things keeping you up at night, but
No, not two. The other 2 key things. Other than that, it's when am I going to book my next trip to go overseas? But I mean, another thing that I'm very passionate about is just getting that independence of the engineers for contract and seeing, allowing people to feel that they can undertake that role independently when required under construction contracts.
Yeah, nice. And Max, what about you?
It literally keeps me up at night is YouTube on the TV. Often my partner will fall asleep and I'll be sat there watching YouTube till 11 o'clock at night.
Is it construction related?
No, sometimes it's the B1M, all that sort of stuff, but usually it's golf or technology related reviews, etc. But yeah.
Cool. All right, so some fun quick fire questions. What are you currently reading, listening, or watching, Natasha?
Well, I'm watching Succession, and I hope we all are.
Oh, yeah, actually, I wanted to start that. So
that's great.
How do I get out of this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything?
Oh, you want?
Oh, I'm sorry,
have-
it sounded like you had other things to say.
Oh, I also just started the Seven Sisters series, so a bit of light reading, nothing too heavy.
Yeah, no, I still love Escape. Well, what about you, Max?
I'm currently watching The Last of Us on Amazon Prime, which is awesome. I was a big fan of the game, so it was good to see it eventuate into a TV show. And Pedro Pascal is fantastic as well. And also, and watching the Mandalorian season finale tonight, which is going to be awesome. I listen to a lot of house and disco music, which is sort of a bit of passion. And then I'm not a massive reader. I was back in the day, but I've just slowly phased out of it. I've had Tiger Woods' biography sitting on my bedside table for about a year now, and I haven't really got into. So
I'm just a bit of a holiday reader. Like if I go away on holiday, I could pick up a book and like read the whole thing. But at home, I just get way too distracted with other stuff going on.
100%.
Yeah. So, what are some things that you do for your well-being, Natasha?
Well, I have a black Labrador, so she is very good for my well-being. So I walk her, and I sleep a lot when I can. Get those afternoon naps in when you can. And my passion is, well, not during the, well, maybe sometimes during the day, but weekends. And my passion is travel, so I'm always thinking of the next place to go.
Nice. Do you have a trip coming up?
Probably Vegas. Yeah.
Cool.
Good.
For the F1 or?
No, not for the F1. Thankfully, no.
Not your loss.
I've done the F1, yeah.
Oh, and Max, what's some things that you do for your well-being?
I play a lot of golf. I think golf good for patience and certainly resilience. It's not something you get good at overnight. I go to the gym pretty much every morning before work, and then I'm an avid red wine collector as well. So certainly I like to drink a lot of red. So yeah, that's what keeps me sane.
Yeah, nice. Were you in the Auckland Region Golf Day? Sorry, Northern Region Golf Day?
No, I was just before I joined. So
All right. We have our Central Region one coming up.
I'll have to drive down for it.
Yeah. I'll invite you next year. And what about what is your motto, Natasha? What do you live by?
Really, I live by I work so I can travel.
Lovely. That's very cool. How many countries do you think you've been to, or do you know?
I don't know, but a lot, yeah.
Nice. So do you always do travel like just throughout the year, or do you go on like big trips or?
No, I try to just do it, well, as much as I can throughout the year. Obviously, being able to work online helps a bit now, but I lived in London for 10 years, so that's a great platform to be able to get away and travel. But now I'm back in New Zealand, I'm seeing a bit more of Asia and the Pacific and a bit more of the States as opposed to Europe and the Middle East. So yeah.
I also lived in London for 6 years. Went everywhere. It was so easy. You could go for just almost for a day and it seemed worthwhile.
Very accessible, but also just short breaks away in New Zealand. I was in Opito Bay over Easter and it was incredible in the Coromandel. So,
nice.
New Zealand has a lot to offer too.
Yeah, it totally does. And Max, what's your motto?
My partner sort of instilled this one. It's we're so lucky everything always works out for us, and whether that be trying to get the good seat on the plane or trying to find a car park at the mall. We're sort of we what's the word, you manifest it. Yeah. So that's what we do. It's what she's always trying to gun for, so it's good.
Nice. Now we are running right on time. However, I just had a quick bonus question. What is your advice for the next generation, Natasha? On the spot.
No, my advice would be hang in there. It's construction is a tough industry, but it's an amazing industry and there's great people, and find your people, stick with them. They'll back you, and yeah, hang in there. It's very rewarding, and you get to meet all walks of life and get to be part of an amazing community.
Yeah, cool. What about you, Max?
Was it advice for the next generation?
Yes.
Just stick at it, really. I mean, look, it's sort of, there's so much that can come from it. I have no qualifications at all. I worked in a timber yard for 3 years, lifting sticks onto trailers, and now I've developed quite the career out of that. So, yeah, if you don't want to be in school, leave school, go get a trade or go work in a timber yard, because you can. The world's your oyster. There's no ceiling, really. Just keep going, keep at it, and if you're dedicated and focused, you will succeed. And you know, I'm walking proof of that. So, yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you guys for being on today. And just a reminder to anybody who is tuned in that our awards are open now, both our Next Gen Awards and our Building People Awards. So make sure you get your entries in for those. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Cheers.
See ya.
See ya.